What's up guys, it's Messed Up Swede. Right now I'm checking out the Deadliest gang in London, Wood Green MOB. And this is Skyboy uploading this, so go subscribe to his channel and go leave a like on the video as well, man. Let's see what he's talking about right here, man. Don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe, man. We're on the way to 1,000 subs.
It's a suburban district in the borough of Haringey in North London. It's a postal district in...
And I'm guessing Wood Green MOB. I'm not sure if that's like right now or if it's like from before. Because I haven't heard of Wood Green MOB, but we'll see, I guess.
N22, with parts of it in N8 or N15. Located in this area of the city is London's deadliest gang. The first generation of the Wood Green firm began to call themselves Junior Mafia or Junior Mafia Woods in the late 1990s going into the millennium. The second generation became known collectively as Wood Green Mob.
Yo, Wood Green, yeah, you get me? Everyone's here, you get me? Mob, yeah, MIG.
Within the mob's sprawling turf covering large parts of the N22 postcode, sets developed that were geographically placed on various estates such as Knoll Park, Acacia Road, Bracknell Close, Progress Way, Commerce Road and Sky City Estate. Following the death of the young Tottenham boy in 1997, perpetrated by the Hackney Mandem, members of Wood Green firm were firmly backing the conflict that came to be generalised as Hackney versus Tottenham. At this point in time, Wood Green and Tottenham were close allies.
Yeah, that's Bando K's dad, yeah, so...
Edmonton were also their allies, which is a stark contrast to what's going on in present time. At this new generation of Edmonton went on to become known as Shankstars, whilst over a dozen Tottenham estates began to adopt their own identity. For example, the formation of MPK, who are from Northumberland Park. Many of the teenagers born into this generation knew each other and attended the same school. Despite this, where they're from proved to be greater than any friendship they had. Areas began to challenge each other's reputation, and it wasn't long before this escalated into violence. In 2002, up to a dozen members of the Wood Green mob, the Junior Mafia Woods, were caught by police surveillance following a 4-month robbery spree. The gang members aged 12 to 19 were said by police to see themselves
12 to 19, damn.
as untouchable, preying on innocent victims as a pact to steal cash, mobile phones, often at knife point. Jermaine Campbell, Craig Johnson and Ashley Goldie, all then 16, were ordered to be detained for 3 years despite being young offenders due to the severity of their crime. Michael Gaynor and Aaron Reddicks, both age 15, were sentenced to 12 and 18 months. Michael Gaynor's street name, G Money, would later grow up to be a very influential member of the Wood Green gang. Robbery offences were said to have fallen by 33% in Wood Green shopping centre following these convictions.
33% down just because they got locked. That's crazy, man.
In 2004, Wood Green mob allies Shadow Kings began the conflict with Tiverton, who are today known as M15 and are from South Tottenham, who at the time had internal issues in Tottenham with Broadwater Farm. During the conflict, Wood Green mob was torn between loyalties with Tottenham and the Shadow Kings. Wood Green mob ended up siding with the Shadow Kings, and this was the beginning of the Tottenham beef. Internal disputes were squashed between Tiverton and Broadwater Farm, uniting the whole of Tottenham. In 2005, the Wood Green mob began serious conflict with Tottenham gangs, mainly Broadwater Farm, IDA Bloodstars and Tiverton.
I the home of the brave, Bloodstar, do this thing, 3 Joe, 3 Bloodstars, 3 Shaq, 3 Gem.
Now on the 30th of April 2005, 6 Wood Green mob members would surround the car of Andre Linton on Buller Road just before 11 PM, where Jermaine Campbell, aka Killer, would then fire a single bullet through the window and into Andre's chest. The bullet sadly penetrated his
R.I.P. man.
heart. Andre, who was a pupil at Craig City Academy and formerly of Northumberland Park School, was not a gang member. It is believed the trigger was something as arbitrary as a dirty look. Killer wrote,
Like I said, R.I.P. man.
named Jermaine Campbell, was sentenced to 25 years in prison at the Old Bailey, but 5 other gang members who were with him at the night are still at large. Jerome Vassell, aka Warlord, was a well-known and loved member of original Wood Green Boys. On the 28th of October 2006 at around 1 AM at the West Indian Cultural Centre, he was shot in the head by a Star Gang member. Star Gang is the same Tottenham-based set that the famous UK drill duo RV and Heady would later rep. Jerome would be taken to Royal Free Hospital in Hampstead, where he spent 5 months and was discharged in March 2007, suffering from brain damage, partial paralysis and communication problems. He later suffered
That's mad.
an epileptic fit directly related to the gunshot injury and collapsed and died at his home in Haringey, December 2007. 8 people arrested for his murder, but none were charged and they were all released. The murder remains unsolved. Now in 2008, many of the Shadow King members were arrested. Those who remained joined Wood Green Mob. This was also the start of the Green City Alliance, which is a link up between Wood Green, Edmonton Green and Bounds Green. All 3 gangs began wearing green bandanas. Some prominent members from different Wood Green sets included the likes of Todd's, GK, HB, G Money, Nat Nice, Steeler, etc. Also, long-term allies Hornsey and Wood Green began to fall into conflict with one another. This reached a tipping point in September.
Wait, young Mo Stacks. Have I heard that Mo Stack is from Hornsey? I kinda remember hearing that, but I'm not sure, man.
Nat Nice, Steeler, etc. Also, long-term allies Hornsey and Wood Green began to fall into conflict with one another. This reached a tipping point in September 2008.
Maybe. Oh, wait, that is Mo Stack, though.
Conflict with one another.
Yeah.
This reached a tipping point in September.
It has to be, man.
2008, when over 40 Wood Green and Grey Gang members clashed. 17-year-old Grey Gang member was rushed to hospital after he was found by a passerby having collapsed in the avenue with stab wounds to his back, leg and face. The youths, who used bandanas to hide their faces, were spotted by police officers in the high road Wood Green near the junction with Gladstone Avenue at 1:50 AM but were able to escape. By the end of 2008, Hornsey's Grey Gang had developed an alliance with Wood Green's rivals from Tottenham, including MPK. Wood Green were now effectively fighting 6 gangs. Due to this, Wood Green dropped one of the most legendary tracks in UK history, titled FL Link Up, where the chorus rings, "Need to get their P's up, cause we G'd up, and them man there ain't real cause they teamed up. 6 postcodes linked up just to beef us." The new generation of Wood Green were fearless and mobbing on several blocks. Their best rapper G Money as well as Sticks will drop this legendary song in Hornsey on the up block while tying green flags to street signs.
Green Gang to my death. And Hornsey, murder Hornsey youths. T.
Now in 2010, on the 27th of April, G Money, real name Michael Gaynor, was handed an ASBO by Haringey, which not only bans him from returning to Wood Green, but also prevents him from associating with 13 of his former gangmates. G Money, who has been involved with gangs since he was a teenager, was banned from being in a group of 3 or more in a public space, and has been banned from featuring in any music video or audio material that is uploaded to the internet and incites violence towards rival gangs. He was also banned from uploading pictures or footage that features green bandanas. On the 7th of August 2011, HB, real name Sion Fogger Brown, a Wood Green mob member, would break into HMV shop in High Road in the early hours after rioting that broke out in Tottenham the night before spread across the borough. Brown, unemployed, was identified after blood found at the scene by forensic investigators was matched with him, and he was arrested 3 weeks later. At Wood Green Crown Court, he was sentenced to 16 months in a Young Offenders Institute after pleading guilty to burglary. On the 1st of September 2011, Bienvenu Vangu, aka Steeler, would get the drop on his MPK ops at Highgate Magistrate Court.
I've heard of this Steeler guy before. I think he did the axe attack or something like that, man. I'm guessing that's gonna come here soon as well, man.
Yes, you heard that correctly, an actual court. Many of his fellow Wood Green members would also be
Oh
attending
yeah, this is the...
court for their own cases that day, and it's very common for ops to run into each other during these things. Up to 30 teenagers eventually gathered, which sparked a fight, before Steeler, wearing a baseball cap and a scarf across his face, arrived clutching a plastic bag containing a rusty axe. Steeler was later arrested and charged.
That's crazy, man. Inside the court as well. That's mad.
Ironically, he now appeared in court for what he did in court. Mr. Israel told Wood Green Crown Court, one slips to the ground and Steeler hammers 4 vicious, violent hacks of the axe on a young man's head. Steeler then chased another teenager across the road, and Mr. Israel said stands over him, raises the axe and hits 2 hard blows on the victim's back. Security guards locked the court to protect members of the public inside, but 2 victims were trapped outside as Vangu launched his attack. Steeler, who turned 18 in November, had a string of 10 convictions already for robbery, violence and carrying a knife, and the first appearing before courts when he was just 14. Steeler admitted wounding, attempted wounding, violent disorder and possession of an axe. He was sentenced to 6 years and ordered to be on license for 4 years after his release from...
That sounds kinda light for an axe attack on 2 people, but... yeah, 6 years, still a long time, man.
prison to protect the public. From that day onward, Steeler became known as Axeman. Now, Nat Nice, real name Nat Neil Tesfaye, was a Wood Green mob member. He was banned from Wood Green, so he started chilling with Edmonton-based Them Africans, who were part of the Green Alliance. Them Africans' local rivals at the time were Get Money Gang. On the evening of April 1st, 2013, Nat Nice and a group of Them Africans gathered on Bouncers Road in Edmonton. A dark Vauxhall Corsa drove past. GMG members Chicken and Shadow were behind the wheel. Nat Nice and friends spotted the car and gave chase. Nat Nice then left and returned with a gym bag containing a sawn-off shotgun and some ammunition. 10 minutes later, a black BMW arrived. Chicken and Shadow stepped out and started walking towards the kebab shop in Bouncers Road. Nat Nice calmly put his bag down after spotting them and proceeded to fire at Chicken, who was unarmed, before chasing him down and firing again. Chicken, who had been hit in the chest, collapsed in the alleyway between Bouncers Road and the car park. Chicken sadly died at the scene. Nat Nice was arrested,
Crazy, man. R.I.P.
charged and sentenced to 27 years for his murder. Money J, real name Joshua Folks, was a 197 member, which is a gang located in Finchley and rivals of Wood Green. On the 3rd of December 2014, Money J was outside a house in Palmer's Green at around 12:45 am. He would be spotted by 2 Wood Green members, one being G-Maz as well as Big J.
It's mad how many gangs there are around the, like... I don't know how big of an area it is really, like... since I'm in Sweden, like, the perspective is way different, man. But I don't think these gangs are far from each other at all.
Big J would hit him with a baseball bat, whereas G-Maz would take things further and stab Money J in the chest. Money J would collapse, and despite paramedics later working on him for almost 45 minutes, he was pronounced dead at the scene. The
R.I.P. again, man.
3 teenagers responsible for his murder will be charged and go to trial.
3 teenagers have been found not guilty of murdering a 17-year-old outside his friend's home in North London. Joshua Folks, who was known as Money J, was stabbed to death in Palmer's Green in December.
How they beat the case is beyond me, but stranger things have happened. Steeler was released in 2014, but it didn't take long for him to get into trouble. Now Crimer, real name Clive Massey, was a refugee from Congo whose parents came here for a better life. In his teenage years, he was a legit Grey Gang member and extremely active, arguably their top scorer, on one occasion stabbing and shooting Wood Green member GK. However, as he aged, he had been trying to extricate himself from a deadly lifestyle and qualify as an engineer to make his family proud. It was an honourable decision on his part. Sadly, his ops will continue to see him as a target for all the blood he had shed prior. Now on the 1st of February 2015, Crimer arrived with 4 friends at a birthday party in Sark Tower. At around 4:20 a.m, present at the party was Steeler, HB and a few others. Once spotted by HB, Crimer was shot in the chest before he made it beyond the hallway of the 13th floor flat. Two friends tried to drive Clive Massey, 24, to hospital following the shooting at 4:30 a.m, but flagged down a police car on his way to the scene when they realized he was unlikely to survive. He unfortunately died in hospital the following morning. A total
R.I.P. again,
of
man.
21 people arrested in connection with the
It's a lot of people gone because of these gang stuff.
murder. Everyone but HB was released. HB now stood trial for the murder of Clive Massey. The prosecution stated that within a minute the deceased and his groups were chased down by HB and his associates, and there was a further gunfight outside a block of flats where bullets hit Mr. Massey's car. The prosecution ballistic expert stated that at least 3 up to 5 firearms were discharged. It was alleged that the shooting was gang related, but HB denied this, as well as denying being a gang member. HB was found guilty of possession of a firearm and violent disorder, but not found guilty of murder. On the 9th of January 2015, Prophet, real name Isaiah Ekpaloba, an N15 gang member, along with his friend Lamont Roper, would raid the home of Wood Green rival JD, attempting to rob him for drugs. JD managed to fight back while sustaining stab injuries. He was also able to stab Prophet. The pair then ran out of the house. JD pursued the pair and caught up with them as the cab attempted to pull out into that high road in Wood Green. CCTV showed JD, armed with at least one knife, open the front passenger door and make stabbing motion towards Roper, who was seated there. JD then attempted to open the back passenger door where Prophet was seated, but only managed to open it partially. The car took Prophet to North Middlesex Hospital in Edmonton.
No care for people around or witnesses, nothing, man.
Where he died at 4:46 p.m. Police later found JD covered in blood inside his own flat. Officers recovered a number of knives, one which had the blade been snapped off, indicating the ferociousness of the struggle. Officers arrested Roper, 18, of Wigan House in East London on January 14th, and he was subsequently charged with conspiracy to rob Dorset. He was tried alongside Dorset and found guilty. Considering the circumstances, JD was sentenced to a life of minimum 12 years for the murder of Prophet. Roper was sentenced to 7.5 years for conspiracy to rob and 3.5 years for both counts of robbery, both to be served concurrently. Now Mello was an original Wood Green member. He was highly respected. On the 25th of June 2015, Mello was at a party in Abbey Wood, southeast London, celebrating becoming a father to his second child. His brother Rico was also present, and he was celebrating the fact he bagged a new job. Present, unfortunately, were also MPK members Fraser and Aidan. Things escalated, and 3 men were knifed after a fight erupted. Mello was one of the 3 men stabbed. He was taken to an East London hospital where he died from a single stab wound.
How many people have died in this? It's crazy, man.
Damien Fraser, 27, from Summerfield Grove, Tottenham, was jailed for 21 years, and Aidan, 25, of Northumberland Park, Tottenham, was jailed for 19 years. On the 3rd of February 2018, Wood Green gang members went out riding looking
R.I.P. Kobe, man.
for rivals in a stolen black Honda Civic. They spotted Kwabena Nelson, known to friends as Kobe, who was now a youth care worker but once repped the MPK gang. Kobe himself was in the car. They rammed into him. Shortly after the collision, a group of men decamped from the black Honda Civic, ran to where Kobe's car had come to a rest, and began to attack the car and then him. They started hitting him, kicking him, knifing him down. Kobe was on his feet, then fell down on the ground and curled up. Kobe mustered his strength to call for an ambulance.
Yeah, nah. I've heard this before. I don't need to hear it again.
Young S, however, beat the case.
As the funeral procession heads to the cemetery, A few streets away, the police spot a suspicious car with 3 suspected gang members in it, which fails.
Damn, so they even tried to ride out on the funeral. Damn,
Police spot a suspicious car with 3 suspected gang members in it, which fails to stop.
I confirm this vehicle has been shown as confirmed. Show me firearms over.
The 3 men attempt to escape. One suspect.
Did you see that cop right there, man?
Show me firearms over.
The 3 men attempt.
How the fuck is he gonna catch anyone, man? Look at this guy right there, man.
Shown as confirmed. Show me firearms over.
The 3 men attempt to escape. One suspect is caught at an address close by, and when officers search the property, they find a loaded shotgun.
Gun that we've recovered from the address. It's a sawn-off shotgun, so it's got a potential to kind of spread pellets.
The arrested suspect was found not guilty of any offence.
Now Jigga J, real name Neron Kwate, a Wood Green gang member, DNA was found on the car's airbag, but throughout the investigation and trial, he refused to give up names of the other men involved in the attack.
So it took 26 because of that. Damn.
Him keeping his mouth sealed was the reason why the rest of the members involved didn't get locked, judged and sentenced Quarty to life of minimum term of 26 years. Now back to Steeler. On the 20th of February 2018, Steeler was on a Hammersmith and City train to Barking. He was spotted and approached by an op. This turned into a verbal fight before it quickly escalated and got violent. Steeler was stabbed and reacted by shooting his attacker at close range in the stomach. Steeler was heavily bleeding himself. However, his attacker collapsed on the floor and was left in critical condition. Steeler then ran off the train at Barking Station. 3 days later, Steeler was traced to his home in Southend and arrested after a standoff with armed police.
Damn. A standoff with the police as well.
The boy he shot recovered in hospital. Steeler appeared at the Old Bailey in London and was found guilty of grievous bodily harm with intent and possession of a firearm. He was cleared of 1 count of attempted murder. He was sentenced on the 4th of September to 13 years in jail, where he will serve a further 4 on licence. Now Lamps was a member of a set in Wood Green known as the Greenside Hitters, a very active Wood Green member for his age. Would literally terrorise his ops and was alleged to have been part of the group who attacked Kobe. See, Kobe was a loved member by the whole of Tottenham. OFB, N15 and MPK were all mourning his death. On the 8th of March 2018, Lamps was outside and would taught his ops on Snapchat.
Yeah, I think we all know about this one. How many songs his name is in is crazy, man.
By playing Hit Toronto song from K Money titled Come Outside, which is a song that taunts rivals about staying indoors instead of coming outside to gangbang. Unfortunately for Lamps, his ops would accept his proposal. Now at 12:30 AM, 2 individuals on a moped circled View Cinema where Lamps was at. After shooting once, there was commotion inside the cinema, but this didn't faze Lamps. Instead, he charged to the door where they were at. As he tried to open the door, 1 bullet was fired that hit him in the head and he immediately dropped. Lamps was declared dead at a hospital 2 hours later. 2018 was an extremely hot year for North London, but it didn't look like things were slowing down. Now Tanisha Melbourne Blake, also known as Nisha, was a girl who was heavily affiliated with Tottenham sets such as MPK, OFB and N15. A very young Nisha was even in a music video by Tottenham Olders in 2010. Now on the 2nd of April 2018, almost a month after the death of Lamps, Wood Green members went out riding where they spotted MPK members. Nisha was spotted in Childgrove Road, socialising with friends. She was shot from a vehicle shortly before 9:35 PM. Sadly, Tanisha died at the scene. The murder remains unsolved. Now Wood Green member BD later dropped a song mocking the ordeal of Nisha's death, sarcastically saying RIP to her, while claiming he still chills with the shooter. K1, real name Kamali, was a big time trapper and highly loved member in Wood Green. Now on the 21st of February 2019, MPK members were planning to go on a drill and convinced a few OFB members to aid them. MPK
Oh yeah, this is the SJ case,
They
right?
purchased a stolen Peugeot 308 where they had a fresh pair of clothes inside of it, waiting for them after the drill. It was parked in Broadwater Farm. On the 22nd of February 2019, 6 MPK members and 1 OFB member, being SJ, went on a lurk looking for ops in Wood Green on their pedal bikes. Upon reaching View Cinema, a common location for Wood Green members to hang out, as well as where Lamps was shot dead, they spotted K1, Y Dot and Swift. A MPK member known as Shems instantly shot at the Wood Green members, missing them, causing them to split apart and run. The 6 members were then caught on CCTV, chased in the direction of K1 and Swift. The gang then caught up to Swift, who was cornered on Vincent Road. Shems then shot Swift in his bum, where he had been stabbed 8 times by Trills. K1 was further ahead and made it to his car. Now, in an act of pure loyalty and bravery, K1 attempted to ram his car into
Oh yeah, I remember that.
a gang in an attempt to help his friend Swift. However, he got stuck between cars, leaving him as a sitting duck. Trills, Sneaks and Osav turned their attention to him. K1 left the car, where he and Swift made it into Coffee and Cream hairdressers, where they barricaded the door. The MPK members booted down the door and stabbed K1 numerous times in front of women and children, leaving him to die. They then pedaled back to Tottenham to change their clothes. Trill's pedal bike broke down, so he attempted to walk, but he was spotted by police. Trill's real name Tyrell Graham was sentenced.
That's mad. 21, 21, 21, 25, 28. So that's a total of over 100 years, man.
To 25 years minimum. Now, youths Jaden, Shane Leons, and OJ Hamilton were also found guilty of K1's murder and GBH with intent in relation to a second man. The judge had lifted reporting restrictions that stopped them from being named. They were all sentenced to life imprisonment and to serve a minimum of 21 years. And as for Shem's real name Shareem Cookhorn, he was also found guilty of a possession of a firearm with intent. He was sentenced to serve a minimum of 28 years. Sadly, as I was making this video, another body got dropped in Finchley, North London on the 7th of August 2023.
Hold on, when?
Got dropped in Finchley, North London on the 7th of August
That's like 2 weeks ago.
2023. The victim, age 18, was stabbed in Regent's Park Road near the junction with Litchfield Grove, but managed to flee to a Sainsbury's supermarket after being attacked at 9:40 PM. Wood Green members YK and Taps were immediately arrested for the murder. Now this brings me to the end of Wood Green's history of nothing but murder, jail and misery. No doubt London's deadliest gang. I send my condolences to the family of everyone I mentioned.
Yeah, man, RIP to all of them.
Be sure to subscribe and hit that like button as it goes a long way.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So vids like this should teach you to stay the fuck away from gangs and that stuff, man. It typically ends in one of 2 ways, and we all know it's jail or dead. So, and if you make it out, you're still gonna be scarred mentally, man. You can hear it on pretty much all the rappers, man. All the rappers talk about their dead friends and missing their dead friends and how they got PTSD and all of that stuff, man. So yeah, all I can say is if you have a choice, stay away from it, man. That's it, man. But yeah, don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe, man. And I'm out. Peace.